Adair. I want you to love it.
Hello, I'm Larry Weiss with Elder Advisors. Every day, family.
All right, hey everybody, Wave meteorologist Ryan Hoke here. We have a brand new tornado warning, the first one of the day that has just come out for Adair County. We're going to go wall to wall with this until this is out of Adair County's hair. Yes, Adair County is part of our counties here. You'll notice the Kane Valley currently in this. This is until 7:15 Central Daylight Time, just to get your bearings here. And we continue to monitor this storm, kind of the very southern edge of it near Kane Valley right now with some rotation. What I'm going to do is kind of take this storm apart here and show you exactly what we're tracking when it comes to the winds within it here, causing some of the rotation that prompted the tornado warning here. And as we put that on the screen, you'll notice that in Kane Valley right now, you've got some of that rotation. I'll take the warning off of here just so that we can see in a little bit better detail exactly what's going on within this storm. There we go. So Kane Valley, in your tornado safe place right now. We're going to zoom in on this, give you some of the street names and some of the areas that need to be in their tornado safe place within parts of Adair County here. So as we zoom this in, there we go. You'll see that areas a little closer to Holmes, Absher right now. This is along Highway 55 right through Kane Valley. If you live east of that, that's where you're going to find this. This is along Route 551 here. This is just south and west of Nifley. If you're in Nifley right now, you need to be in your tornado safe place. You are in danger at the moment here. What we're going to do is show you some of the winds on the radar here. See where the rotation is at the moment here. And boom, as we kind of pop this up, you'll see it's right over Holmes right now. So this is going to be just north of Absher. This is right over Holmes. This is west of 551. So nobody should be traveling along 551 right now between Nifley and Kane Valley at this point. Again, this is Adair County we're talking about. This tornado warning going for about another half hour. We'll see if it continues here. Lightning count with this is about 17 strikes at the moment, and it is moving currently to the east at looks like about 35 miles per hour, southeast at 35 miles per hour there. So it will be out of our hair here in a jiffy. But, you know, it's kind of the one storm on the southern edge of this line of storms that's given us the problem here. It's most exposed to where we could see the greatest amount of instability and some of the greatest shear in the atmosphere today. So it's really no surprise that Adair County is going to be the one that sees the one tornado warning of the day here, kind of at the very tail end of all of this. And as we kind of zoom this around here, you'll notice that if you're in Dunbar Hill, you also need to be in your tornado safe place. This is one of three warnings that we're tracking right now on the big board. Of course, the tornado warning for parts of Adair and Taylor County. This is mostly Adair. Taylor, you're basically out of this, even though it says Taylor. Kind of ignore that for now. You are under a severe thunderstorm warning, however. That's until 8 o'clock. This is Eastern time here, and that's 8:15 Eastern, 7:15 Central time for Adair County on that tornado warning. And the flash flood warning continues for parts of Jackson and Jennings counties up that way till 8:30. Again, that's Eastern time as well. Let's jump back into the warning here. This appendage that you see right here on the radar, this is the troublemaker. This is just east of Kane Valley here. I am going to zoom this in so we can see this in a little bit better detail here. We'll clear the warning off the radar and, of course, be able to zoom things in so that we can give you some more street names here as this continues to march to the south and east at about 35 miles per hour. New lightning strike just south of Casey Creek at this time. So if you're in Ella, if you're in Craycraft there, Gentry's Mill, you need to be in your tornado safe place immediately. Preferably that's underground. But if you don't have a basement or a storm shelter, the first floor away from doors and windows, kind of in the center of your either home, condo, or apartment complex, as low as you can get and as center as you can get, that's the place to be. Absher, this tornado, possible tornado, is right over you right now. We're just getting word from Taylor County Emergency Management that there are trees down on a house in Campbellsville. Just seeing a photo of that as well. Some pretty medium-sized trees there on what looks to be a ranch house there. And of course, that's just to the north of where this warning is. That's in Taylor County up there. This is Adair County that we're tracking here. I'm going to put the, of course, the rotation and the velocity here kind of full so that we can see exactly where this is. All right, here's what we're seeing where the greens and the reds come together. The reds, of course, are going away from the radar site in Louisville. The greens are going toward. So if you kind of take that logic together, that's where that area of rotation is. This is just east of 551, just north and east of Adair right now. Dunbar Hill, tornado safe place. You need to be there immediately. This is likely going to pass just to your south, but we don't want to discount any sort of rightward deviant motion on this thing because that has been happening today as well. Hello to Ella. Hello to Craycraft. We've already talked about you folks down there, but I want to reiterate this is the time to be in your tornado safe place. Route 206, of course, between Ella and Columbia, Kentucky, need to be on standby, on guard. You need to be in that safe place right now. Hello to Columbia. You're not technically in the tornado warning at this time. This is going to move just to your east, and the newest radar scan is coming in. This is a little bit more diffuse. It is really tough to see where there could be rotation in this storm closer to ground level just because of how high the radar beam has to shoot from West Point, Kentucky, all the way down to Adair County here. So it's a little tougher to see exactly where that rotation is closer to ground level. So the National Weather Service here, out of an abundance of caution and with some of the damage reports that we've had out of Taylor County here, have gone ahead and issued this tornado warning. This goes for about another 25 minutes or so. So it's going to be about 8:15 Eastern time, 7:15 Central Daylight Time for those folks down there in parts of Adair County as we continue to track this thing toward the south and east at about 35 miles per hour there. Again, if you're in Ella, Craycraft, areas near Adair, Dunbar Hill, Gentry's Mill. If you're in Nifley, you need to be in your tornado safe place at this time. You know, over the last 24 hours, we've had our entire team assembled here for this kind of pair of alert days that have given us at least one confirmed tornado up in Clark County yesterday. Kevin Harnett is here with me today, and of course, he continues to track these thunderstorms as they move through. And Kevin, have you heard anything from emergency management? Any reports from down in Adair County just yet?
Yeah, no damage reports coming in just yet. It's all radar indicated at this point. So when you look at this, it's right over Holmes. If you're familiar with the lake down there, there's Holmes Bend, there's the Green River Lake area. This is just into Adair County. You can see the couplet. That is the reason the warning is out, all part of a broader scope of the winds that are moving through parts of Greene and Taylor counties. But the tornado warned part of that storm is moving across the extreme northern parts of Adair County. When we look at the potential for hail, that's been a problem throughout the day today. That is not the greatest threat with this storm. It's clearly the velocity that has the attention, and you can see there's the rotation, and that's the reasoning behind the tornado warning. So I'm going to zoom into it just a bit more. Let me take off the markings that I've put on, and then we'll zoom in. As we look inside and go into a little bit more detail on the mapping, I want you to just sort of get your bearings together. If you're in the path of this storm, you should be taking shelter. It is moving off to the south and southeast. So let me just give you a little bit of information on this. As it's moving at 35 miles an hour to the southeast, it still sits just north of Columbia. All right, and you can see that as I zoom out on the map in a second. Let me point out again, when we look at Ella and Christine passing Dunbar Hill, as this moves to the southeast outside of Adair County, would approach it near Humble and Decatur. So those are areas that we should be warning folks to take cover and make sure you're in your tornado safe place. Ryan, at this point, radar indicated, no damage. Haven't had any reports coming in. You see the new severe thunderstorm warning coming out.
Yeah, new severe thunderstorm warning now coming in there from the National Weather Service. And this includes parts of Grayson County. This is just skimming the very southern flank here of Grayson County, just south of Litchfield. We saw this storm a little bit earlier. Said it might scrape right across the southern edge of Grayson County. That's exactly what's happened here. Now, notice this is a special kind of severe thunderstorm warning. It's what we call a tornado possible tag on this thing. And you'll see it right there, meaning we're not confident enough in the rotation to give it a tornado warning just yet, but it is something to watch here as this moves towards Shrewsbury and areas just south of Litchfield here, areas like near Welch's Creek and Sunfish. You may see those pop up on our maps here from time to time. 1 inch hail possible, but this 60-mile-per-hour winds also in the potential for that new severe thunderstorm warning. Again, that is very southern parts of Grayson County, and at this point that is going to be moving toward the south and east at 35 miles per hour as well. Kevin, what you got?
We do have a report of some tree, at least a tree, maybe multiple trees down on a house near the Campbellsville area.
Yes.
So that was the same storm. You mentioned that. That, again, still showing some possible damage as it moved across the county line into Adair County. So that gives us a little bit of an indication that we still are dealing with at least strong winds, possibly a tornado. Tough to tell just based on the radar data. Certainly still seeing that tight couplet as it moves through that tornado warning, and that warning goes until 8:15 Louisville time or 7:15 local time there. Again, the tornado warning for parts of Adair, Casey, and Russell counties of Kentucky. Ryan?
Yeah, so if you know folks north and east of Columbia here, give them a call. Say, hey, if you don't know it yet, there is a tornado warning. And the circulation right now is just south of Dunbar Hill here, Route 206 between Columbia and Ella. I would not advise travel on that at this time as the storm continues to move a little closer to Ella. You need to be in your tornado safe spot. A great idea in a situation like this, if you're in a tornado warning polygon like this, is to gather the kids, make sure everybody's wearing shoes. If you can grab like a bicycle or a motorcycle helmet really fast, take that with you. Make sure you put that on the kids first, of course. You want to make sure you're protecting your head and your feet just in case this does touch down and cause some damage, and then you don't have to deal with the debris quite as much in that fashion there. So a tornado safe place is, of course, the kind of center of your home or apartment complex or condo on the bottom floor away from doors and windows. If you've got a basement, that's where you need to go. Center of that basement's fantastic. If you don't, I get it. A lot of us don't. And that first floor away from doors and windows is the good place to be. Okay, this is a brand new radar scan here on the velocity. This is now taking it just south of Dunbar Hill here. And since we have the velocity on, we can't actually query this here. So we'll be able to tell just how fast some of the winds are aloft with this storm here. And what we're going to see here is, of course, the tornado warning popping up here. So I'll have to put kind of the plane velocity on here. And what we'll have to do with that is go to a specific type of product here, and we'll be able to see just how fast those winds are. There we go. So if we go to the query here, there we are. And you'll see this is just south of Dunbar Hill, sort of the inbound winds on this, about 37 miles per hour. The outbound winds, just because we're tracking it from an actual like radar site here in Louisville, about 36 miles per hour. So at this point, there may be a kind of a gate-to-gate shear of about 60 miles per hour with this. That is definitely concerning. That's something that we are going to continue to track here as this moves toward the south and east, about 35 miles per hour. This black line you see right here, just east of Barnett Springs, that is the edge of Adair County. That is also the edge of our Wave News viewing area here. So we're going to continue to track this thing as it moves a little bit closer to Russell County and the Russell Springs area. Kevin, it looks like you're tracking some of the rotational velocity there that we've seen, kind of the history of this and where it's gone there.
Yeah, when I look at this, what we check are the shear tracks. This gives us a good idea of where the greatest rotation is. Obviously, that would sort of coincide with if we were to have a tornado, where it would be. You can see how that intensified as it moved past the Campbellsville area, as it pushed down into the Holmes area, and it has eased just a bit on the last scan or two. So that's the good news with that. When we put the radar back on, you're going to notice for the velocity, and I'll pause it, we still have the couplet, and that is still where we would have the concern for the greatest rotation moving past, as you pointed out, just south of Dunbar Hill. That's 206 moving towards 76. This is going to move right into the small town of Ella, and that will continue drifting off to the south and east. It's moving at about 30 to 35 miles an hour. So a couple of warnings. This is the only tornado warning that we have that goes until 8:15, or excuse me, 8:15 our time, and then additional warnings would include the severe thunderstorm warnings out toward Grayson County. So Ryan, we'll watch this. It's probably in Adair County for another 10 minutes and then exiting as we move it out of our viewing area.
All right, so that's 7:15 Central Daylight Time there. That's probably when things are going to be kind of working their way out of Adair County, as we were just talking to you about there. That's why the tornado warning goes until that time. Again, these are Eastern time zone times that you're seeing here on the big board. We've got that new severe thunderstorm warning for Grayson County. That's south of Litchfield, very southern kind of quarter of Grayson County involved with that till 8:45 Eastern. Tornado warning, of course, for parts of Adair County, north and east of Columbia until 8:15 Eastern, 7:15 Central Daylight Time. And of course, kind of the first severe thunderstorm warning that we were tracking in this whole ordeal till 8 o'clock here. That lasts for about another minute's time. So I'm going to back up here, go back to the radar. We're going to call out some towns here, get street level, show you exactly what's going on in your neighborhood here. So, of course, this is the tornado warning for Adair County that we're going to focus on most plentifully here over about the next 10 minutes or so as we get this thing out of our hair and so that you folks can go back to your regular programming here as we get this out of Adair County. But let's zoom this in. This appendage you see right here near Ella, this is the cause for concern. This is moving toward Gentry's Mill. If you're in Gentry's Mill, it is time to get in your tornado safe place. This is not a good time to be looking out your window or trying to be getting video of anything outside. We see Purdy on the map. It is just past you. We also see Sano. That's on the map as well. This is Route 76 east of Ella. Nobody should be traveling on that at the moment. We're going to put the velocity on here so that we can see exactly where that couplet is, and a couplet thing out of our hair, and so that you folks can go back to your regular programming here as we get this out of Adair County. But let's zoom this in. This appendage you see right here near Ella, this is the cause for concern. This is moving toward Gentry's Mill. If you're in Gentry's Mill, it is time to get in your tornado safe place. This is not a good time to be looking out your window or trying to be getting video of anything outside. We see Purdy on the map. It is just past you. We also see Sano. That's on the map as well. This is Route 76 east of Ella. Nobody should be traveling on that at the moment. We're going to put the velocity on here so that we can see exactly where that couplet is. And a couplet is basically just an area where the rotation is. And you can see it's become a little bit more diffuse here. What I am going to do is back this up here so that we can get a wider shot of that, make it a little easier on us to see where exactly that couplet is at this time, because we were zoomed in just a little too closely there. There you can see it there. This is just north of Gentry's Mill. This is just west of Dunville here. This is Route Highway 127 between Dunville and Jamestown, Kentucky. So we're talking about basically Russell County into Casey County here. That's going to be the next area where this transitions into as this gets out of our counties here. But as we zoom in here, get a little bit closer to street level, you'll be able to see where exactly we're tracking the kind of the tightness of this couplet here, where we've got the winds going in a circular motion. Eunice, Ella, you need to be in your tornado safe place. This is 206 right here. And it looks like they have just canceled the tornado warning, Kevin. So I think things are wrapping up at this time. And we haven't seen any reports of anything that has come from this tornado warning storm that has been allowed to be canceled here at 8:01 p.m.
Yeah, just now allowed to cancel. You saw it fall off the map. At this point, the only other warning we have is for southern Grayson County. That's a severe thunderstorm warning. Comes with the tornado possible tag. You can see that storm moving into Welch's Creek. We'll be tracking this. We're going to get you back to programming for the 8 o'clock shows, but we will be on our digital streams. Give us about 10 minutes to get everything set up. That's what I was doing as Ryan was on the air. So we will be with nonstop coverage, just with the weather moving through. And then obviously if there are any significant storms that we need to break into programming with, we'll do so. We'll toss it back to Dawn. Do you have any more news? So we'll get you back to NBC programming. If we need to break in this evening, we will. The idea is that the threat for severe weather in our area is very limited at this point, but it's obviously not zero. The greatest threat's off to our south. Those are the storms we're watching. Should all be out of here within the next few hours. We'll be here to keep you updated. So
we'll see you wave weather now at 8:15 p.m. Good night, everybody.
Well, maybe not. It's good to see you back on your feet.
Well, those days off actually did me some good.